Yo, it's your boy Simon. Today we're diving deep with the prison hustle, the black market, what's really going on behind closed doors. Let's dissect it. Here we go. Hustling in prison or the prison hustle. It happens every day, minute to minute, second to second. Every single person has their own unique hustle. Whether you work as a cook in the kitchen, you're yoinking eggs, you're yoinking onions, bell peppers out the back. Whether you work in the commissary, you're taking out the extra items out the back. Whether you're working as a clothing guy, you're sewing up people's pants. Whether you're laundry, you're cleaning dirty drawers. Every single prisoner or inmate that's doing their time correctly has a hustle. Everything in prison costs money. And guess what? The state only provides you a small fraction, $15 in the Illinois Department of Correction to cover all your expenses. Now that covers anywhere from food, laundry, cosmetics, you name it, that $15 is supposed to cover it. Now guess what? 99.9% of people cannot live on that $15 a month. Now don't get it twisted. I've seen some dudes living, I'm talking about living barely for that 15 bucks a month. But if you want to strive for bigger and better things in prison, you're going to find a hustle. Now, my own personal hustle was, I was a cook, right? So technically that's not a hustle. That's a job in prison. But with the job comes the hustle. So what we used to do is we used to carry out all the extra food. Now, the state ain't gonna miss it first and foremost. I don't recommend stealing. This is not about that. What this is about is how to survive in prison and what people do, an educational type of video. So basically, any type of extra food, say we make some exclusive hamburgers, say we make some exclusive, you name it. We take a little back to the unit, sell it to the boys, give it to the boys, because all they got over there is the medieval gruel they serve for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So why not help out the boys, help out the prison economy by feeding people good? Now, that's only one hustle. That's the one that I had in particular. Everybody has their own different hustles. Now, the laundry guy in particular, he goes on contracts with all the boys on the unit. Now, what that means is technically you can only do laundry once a week in the Illinois Department of Corrections. Now, laundry once a week, you figure you got rec maybe once a day, depending on what kind of security level prison you're at. But how many clothes can you possibly have that laundering once a week, if you work out every day, is going to suffice? So obviously the laundry guy's hustle is to get contracts. Usually it's only $3 a month. Now $3 a month in prison is a lot of money. Think about $1 in prison is the equivalent to about $100 out here in the real world. $3 can get you a lot of things. $3 can get you about 12 soups. $3 can get you about a bag of coffee, maybe 2, depending what size you're getting. Or it can get you some personal favors, now if that's what you're into. So on top of the laundry guy, there's so many more, I can't even name them all. The clothing guy sews up people's clothes, so on and so forth. The gist of it all is that without the prison hustle, without the interior gear working of the economy, the whole system would fail inside. Everybody would be miserable. Everybody would be without. People would be walking around in dirty ass clothes. People would be eating bare minimum food. And it would just be a much worse mess than it already is, because from all the shows that you guys probably watch or from my prior YouTube videos, prison's not a nice place to be. They take away your freedom. They demean you at any level possible. And you don't have a name in there. You got a number. Every single day you wake up, by your number. There is no personal communication. There is no deeper, sentimental getting to know one another when it comes to inmate and CO. Now, there is exceptions, of course, but that's the majority of the workings of prison. Now, there's a darker side to the prison hustle. There's guys bringing in drugs. There's guys filling their pockets full of other inmate stuff. Now, the black market is essentially, let's just say, something that isn't talked about too often, right? If you're in the know, you're in the know. Otherwise, if you don't know, then you ain't meant to know. Because there's a lot of snitches in there, and people are very, very particular on who they trust when it comes to the black market. Now, the black market, when I was in there, not to put too much details out there, people were bringing in drugs. I'm talking about weed, coke, whatever you name, they had it. And the specific methods of them bringing it out, well, one time in particular, there was a CO and he was bringing in weed and cigarettes, chewing tobacco, weed, cigarettes to the inmates, right? You figure you're making, I don't know, 40, 50 G's every single year. If you get offered about 200, 300 bucks to bring in a pack of cigarettes, they would do it. People are greedy. That's the folly of man. So one day in particular, I remember this one CO actually got escorted off the grounds because another snitch that didn't get his piece of the pie was so pissed off about this that he ended up snitching up to the IA, which is the Internal Affairs Office, that basically are the big brother of what's going on in prison. Now, on top of that, people always ask, how do you get drugs in prison? Well, it's fairly simple. There's a many ways, one of which, your family, visits. People will put, say, for instance, something that they want to bring in into a bag of chips, and they'll eat the bag of chips on their visit. Now, obviously, your prison has to accommodate a contact visit. Otherwise, that wouldn't work, right? Because there are particular max prisons that essentially just have you visit through a plexiglass. So on top of visits, now with the new technology going on in today's world, guess what? People are flying drones in these joints. Another method, and this one is the most recent. Now, when I got locked up in 2010, drones weren't really a thing. But as time progressed, people literally flew drones into the prison yards at night at a particular drop spot. And they would drop either cigarettes, you name it. They would drop it into like a tennis ball, something that's inconspicuous. And then the next day during rec time, that one inmate would know that his package is there and he'd get it. Now, a lot of these guys, they drop the stuff off across the fence and cops would find it. They would see a random ball. They'd open it up. They already knew what's going on. It's not a new thing. On top of the drone method, obviously the police method is very common. By slipping some money to the cops, guess what? You can bring in whatever the hell you want. We're all people, right? And you can, in my opinion, you can finesse somebody into doing anything you want if that person's subjectable. Prisons thrive off the hustle. Without the hustle, there would be no prison. Prison would just be a blank slate and chaotic. Because the means that they offer to you, and when by I mean they, the state, it's just not livable. It's not acceptable for most of the population. People always want more. People at least want to be comfortable in a place that they're going to spend years and years of their life. Now, obviously, you say comfortable in prison. You're not supposed to be comfortable in prison. Well, you're also not supposed to be tortured and treated inhumanely. Right? And that's up for perception. I'm not going to get into that during this video, but I can cover that in a future video if you guys would like to. The black market, the hustle, it all happens every single day, every single second in prison. If you guys want to know more about the interiors of the joint, hit them comments down below. Toss a subscription, toss a like, hit that bell, get notified when we're online. I also stream on twitch.tv/V_Dent. Come on through, come kick it, ask me anything. We try to stream every single day. And until next time, be safe, make wise decisions, and stay out of prison. Peace.